Hi guys, and welcome to another video. Today's video lesson, we're going to be looking at Grade 10 Mathematics Simplification of Algebraic Fractions using Factorization Part 1. If we look at the work schedule as per the KZN Department of Education, you will be able to see that we are here now. It says point 6 Simplification of Algebraic Fractions using Factorization. And before that, we looked at factorization and all the different types of factorization. And this is very, very important for us going forward. So let's get back to our question that we're going to answer today. And let's firstly look at the November 2019. This is the November 2019, the national paper that was written. Let's look for a question on fractions. Okay, so if you look here, see that you have to know your factorization well. Okay, see, right, you can see here there's right, removal of common factor there. That's a quadratic trinomial, and this will be grouping in pairs. Okay, but we're actually interested in this question here, which is 1.2.2, which is an algebraic fraction. So 1.2.2, let's answer that question. So what do we have here? Okay, so we got 5x minus 5 all over 5x. Now the first thing that you must take note of in this particular question is that you cannot cancel the 5x with the 5x. The reason is that there's two terms here in your numerator and there's only one term in your denominator. So the key here is that you have to factorize this expression first before you can cancel. You can't cancel this 5x with 5x, and that's very important for you to understand and know. Okay, you can't cancel expressions between plus and minus signs. Now, you got 5x minus 5 over 5x. So here you got 5. You can take out 5 as a common factor there. So what you'll be left with? X minus 1. Always check your factorization by multiplication. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times minus 1 is minus 5. And what you're left with here? 5x. So now we can simplify. So we can cancel the expressions which are the same. Because you've got now from two terms, you got one term in your numerator and you got one term in your denominator. Therefore, you can cancel 5 and 5. So you will have to with x minus 1 all over x. Once again, you cannot cancel this x here on the top with the x in the bottom because there's two terms now in your numerator and one term in your denominator. All right. So let's look at another question on fractions. So that was from the November 2019 paper. So let's see if we can go a little bit back there and see. Okay, so this one is right, addition and subtraction of fractions, which I'll cover in the next video. And let's look at the 2017 paper. Right, so there's another fraction example of here, which is x cubed plus 1 all over x squared minus x plus 1. So here you have to factorize as well. Okay, so let's look at this example here. So that's a fraction. That one is from 2017 exam paper. Okay, so let's look at this question now. And so here you got x cubed plus 1 over x squared minus x plus 1. So here if you look carefully now, what do you have? You got x cubed plus 1. X cubed plus 1 is sum and difference of two cubes. X squared minus x plus 1 cannot be factorized any further. The reason for that is, see, you got 1 over there, right? Positive 1. Now there's only two ways that you can get positive 1. Either minus 1 times minus 1 or positive 1 times positive 1. Now if you have to look at that, see, you'll get plus 1. But if you have to add minus 1 to minus 1, you'll get minus 2. What you got, gentlemen? You got minus 1. If you have to add positive 1 to positive 1, you get positive 2. So therefore this cannot be factorized by inspection. So therefore you're just going to leave it as x squared minus x plus 1. In fact, what you can do is you can take out a plus sign, so everything now, you can put brackets around it like that. Now x cubed is equal to x times x times x, and 1 is equal to 1 times 1 times 1. So if you look at it here now, what you're going to do, say x and 1, right? x and 1, and you copy the same sign there, plus x plus 1. Okay, then x times x will give me x squared. 1 times 1 is positive 1. Now we can check our factorization by products. X times x squared is x cubed, plus 1 times plus 1 is plus 1. Now to get your middle term, all you need to do is you multiply these two terms in this first bracket and change the sign. So you say x times plus 1 is plus x, change the sign, minus x. Now what do you notice? X squared minus x plus 1, x squared minus x plus 1, they're the same. So you can cancel. So now we'll just be left with x plus 1. It should be our final answer. Let's go look at another question. So that was from the November 2017 paper. So let's go further down here. 2015. What do we have here? Let's see. Any fractions here? We got factorization there. And what's this paper here? Let's see. It's 20. Okay, there's the question here from the 2016 paper, right? November 2016. So you can see there, November 2016. There's a question here, right? Simplification of fractions, algebraic fractions. So another 1.2.2. Okay. So let's see. Right, so in this particular question now, you've got x squared plus, or it's minus x plus 1 all over x cubed plus 1 divided by 2x over 2x plus 2. Now don't forget, now you got division, right? So when you got division, for example, x over y divided by, let's say, a over b, that will be x over y. We change division to multiplication, and then we swap the numerator and denominator after that division sign there. So that will be b over a. So x over y times b over a now. If you change this division to multiplication, so x over y divided by a over b becomes x over y times b over a. That's important there. So what will be left with here? X squared minus x plus 1. As we now looked at in the previous question, you can see it's the same thing that we're testing here. Right, so this can't be factorized. So you write x squared minus x plus 1, put brackets around it, which means that you got a plus sign in front here. So you just created one term here, right? Instead of 1, 2, 3 terms, you remove a plus sign, you put brackets around it, becomes one term. X cubed plus 1, we factorized that in the last question. I showed you how to factorize that. So what it becomes? It'll be a binomial times a trinomial. Okay, so that's going to be x plus 1, x squared. You're going to get plus 1 there. Multiply these two terms and change the sign, so that's minus x. You're going to change the division to multiplication, and remember now you're going to swap that around. 2x plus 2, you can take out 2 as a common factor now, so it'll be 2 into x plus 1 all over 2x. So remember now, because I swapped the numerator and denominator around, and over there what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove I is common, factor HCF. So learners, you can see now x plus 1, 2 and 2 cancels there, and I've got x squared minus x plus 1, x squared minus x plus 1 all cancels off. So what am I left with? I'm left with 1 over 1 times 1 over x, which is now going to leave me with 1 over x, and that's my solution. Learners, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to JR Maths, my YouTube channel. You can also like my Facebook page, which is Justin Lazarus Mathematics. And check out my website, jrmaths.com, where you can watch all videos in order of the work schedule. And I'll catch you in the next video.